welcome to the Sci-Fi Invasion. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this Sci-Fi Classics box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. And here we come to the last movie of Disc 1, The Atomic Brain from 1964. This movie opens up with narration, which I've said in previous videos is not a good sign. But I kind of dug this one. It's bad in all the right ways. The narration is constant and throughout. There's times the narrator will explain exactly what you just saw. It's like, audience, in case you didn't understand because you're too stupid, this is what you just saw. And then there's times where it talks about science and character motivations and settings. This narrator wanted to be a part of this movie, whether you wanted him to be or not. He is constantly injecting opinions and stuff into this, and at a point it becomes pretty funny. And the beginning of the movie, you have no idea what this movie's about, because the narrator's talking about vampires and stuff. So you're like, what kind of movie is this? And this is the kind of movie it is. It's a brain-swapping mad scientist movie. But the opening narration is talking about vampires and other nonsense. You can't see, but Quentin is just... He is so hungry for attention. He's just out of frame. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this. He wants to be a part of this video so bad, but he doesn't want you to see him. But anyways, yeah, there's a mad scientist. He's got like a zombie girl in his mad science lab, who apparently has no brain at all. She's just walking around. How she is functioning with no brain, I don't know. There's also an animal man who looks like a werewolf, because they put like a dog's brain in his head, and they're stealing bodies. The bodies just aren't fresh enough. It's like Herbert West Reanimator. And this is all on the behest of an elderly woman who wants her brain transplanted in a young woman's body. And that leads to 3 foreigners coming to her residence to be caretakers. There is an English woman, I believe an Austrian woman, and a Mexican woman. And they all have the worst accents possible. It's in black and white, so the Mexican woman very well might be Mexican. She looks like she's probably like Italian or Greek to me, but it's black and white. Maybe she was Mexican. She has the worst Mexican accent if she is. But the British and the Austrian woman look exactly the same. They have no accents whatsoever. I think one of them attempts an accent right when they're introduced, and it's never addressed ever again. So I don't know which woman's which, and it's actually like important because one woman doesn't want to be there and the other one is like kind of rolling with it. And they look exactly the same. They talk exactly the same. I don't know. Halfway through, I forgot one of them was supposed to be Austrian, because someone mentions like, "Oh yes, the Austrian one needs to stay," and it's like, "Oh, that's right. I forgot this plot point." Eventually, the Mexican girl gets the brain of a cat implanted in her, and she's like eating mice and like climbing buildings, which leads to the British girl trying to get the Mexican girl off I really should figure a different way of describing these people. A lot of these people look the same, so it's like kind of like I'm latching on to the only bit of details they give me. But they're on top of the roof, and she's trying to get her down because she doesn't realize she's got a cat brain, and she falls off. The Mexican girl dies, and the white woman, I forget which one, loses her eyesight. And then the old lady, and this is probably my favorite part of the whole movie, but the old lady is like, "All right, it's time to put my brain in this young woman's body." And so the mad scientist puts him under, and then the mad scientist, instead of putting her brain in the young woman's body, he puts her brain in a cat. Which I know the human brain is a lot smaller than a lot of people think it is, but I think it might be a little crowded inside a cat cranium. I don't know. What do you think, Quentin? What do you think? He's like, "I don't have anything going on in my brain." The old woman's brain is inside of a cat, and she wants revenge. So when the scientist goes inside his little nuclear chamber, the cat jumps on the control board and turns him into a spooky, scary skeleton. And the blind girl saves the other blonde girl, and then just randomly dies. It's not really clear why. She just runs into a wall and then dies. Blonde girl escapes the house blows up. The narrator explains that she was going to get all the money from this woman, the old lady who wanted her brain inside of her. so she could keep her inheritance. So this blonde girl just has all this money now. So she had a horrific experience, but at least she's like, you know, a millionaire now. But then it cuts to the cat, and the cat's chasing after her, and he goes, and the narrator goes, but the cat will never forget. She will have her revenge. And then the movie ends. So I'd love to see a sequel to this movie where the cat's just trying to screw over the blonde girl. That'd be great. I want a sequel to this movie. This one was fun. This definitely would be fun with friends. It's fun on its own. It's a nice little time waster. This is the kind of movie I could see coming on at like 3 in the morning when I just like wake up and I'm like, what's on TV? And I could watch it and go back to sleep. Fine movie. Nothing, not so terrible it's unwatchable, but not good enough that it will leave like an excellent impression. Like, oh yeah, that one's a good one. You're not going to experience that. It's like, it's fine. It's a passable, fun little thing. And what more can you expect from something like this? So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.